So
intro. We need a dedicated intro, man.
We
do. Even if it is just an upgrade of the one we have now, we need to dedicate it. You don't want
animated
to
intro.
Do this.
I'm gonna make an animated one for the podcast at some point.
Do an open welcome back. Don't do a sort of hi guys. It's podcast time.
So welcome to week 3 of the RF podcast. As you can see, with the second camera, we have Joe this time.
Yeah, I finally decided to drag my ass out of bed and come along.
Yeah. So slightly different setup to normal. Me and Lewis are a bit closer.
A little bit closer.
Yeah. Not sure at all what the audio for us sounds like.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe by the end of it, you stay tuned all the way through.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yes.
That's for the post show. But yeah. Before we get on to anything, Joe, what the fuck have you been up to?
In life or just recently?
Just generally anything, considering no one on the channel's seen you since probably last year.
I've been at uni. I've been enjoying myself, living the uni life and kind of hermiting away and living in the life up there. So now I'm back pretty permanently, I believe. With me looking at getting a different sort of way of learning. I'm now going to be in the area. So I'll probably be here a bit more often to help out, at least. Try and bring along a bit of news when I know something and probably just steal all the news from about 3 of the podcasts I watch weekly. So just, oh great, I'll write that down and if I just talk about it on my own podcast. Yeah. Great.
That's something I've done, to be fair.
So, I do all the time.
I've tried to not do that this week. This week I've actually done research. I know a couple of them play the games, so I watched them play it and I've done my own research, but I'll probably get lazy and just go, great, that's a point I need to remember. But yeah, I've got some interesting things. Some boring as fuck stuff that I'm just going to glaze over, but it's news, so why not?
So we're just going to kind of cover a couple of things that we're going to be doing soon and elaborate on some of the stuff from last week's podcast. So we mentioned the film Silence and the Coppists. We're getting much closer to doing that film now.
Yeah, screenplay is going to be done by the end of the week.
Yeah.
And sorting out locations, we're going to go do a bit of scouting, aren't we?
Yeah.
I just realised this is turning into a podcast, but it's also more of a, what did we actually do last week? Or we just rewatched this and just that's what we did, yes, we need to remember to work on that next week.
Yeah, this is how I actually have a memory, by just rewatching old videos. Otherwise I would forget everything I do in my life.
Okay, great. So the first 45 minutes is important stuff.
Yeah.
The last 15 is just going to be completely useless, but if people sit through it, there's at least something. Great.
Yeah. We went to Go Ape.
Yeah, that was terrifying but good.
Yeah, that was on Wednesday last week, but for you guys it'd be a week and a half ago because of how the scheduling's working out. So yeah, we went to time the thing and it's weird, wibbly wobbly. But yeah, we went to Go Ape. That was fun.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
Went up big trees. I got scared halfway through and nearly chickened out, but then I persevered and ziplined really high.
It did seem that you, Molly, and Sarah really enjoyed it though.
Yeah,
Sarah, you were all shitting yourselves, but it got to a point one of the later ones where Molly just lost control of breathing and just started singing. So she started singing opera to stop herself from shitting herself as much. I was like, okay, that works.
Opera.
No, opera.
You get a car and you get a car. Are you okay, Molly? Just zipping down the line.
Oh, she loved the zip lines. It was the crossings.
You get bees. Everybody gets bees. God,
that's an old meme.
That's
a really old meme.
Because Molly enjoyed the zip line so much, we're actually going to book, because one of the Go Apes near her in Cumbria, it's the only one in the country that's also got just a purely zip line course. So me and her are booking to go in that one next summer. And it's got one of the longest in the country, and I think the longest one on it is something like 500 meters or something ridiculous. It might be longer. No, it's definitely longer. And the fastest speed you get up to is 45 miles an hour, which on a zip line is quick.
Oh yeah, that's definitely...
When you're whipping past trees...
when you're doing that.
Yeah, when you're whipping past trees, you notice that kind of speed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, we could set up our own zip line. All we need is 2 anchors and the actual zip. We have everything else.
That's true.
We have the ropes. We have the harnesses.
Yeah, that's true. From when we like strapped you to the side of a bridge.
Yeah. Which I'm still getting words in my ear saying, don't ever do that again. You know that's highly illegal. Yes, it's on camera, but it's in the past.
We'll probably do it again.
We will
But the
do.
road not taken. I almost, we've talked about it a few times. Made like a shot from the opposite side of the barrier on Saltburn Pier.
Instead of the barrier.
So the barrier on that's obviously stopping you from the handrail on Saltburn Pier.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're
I'm doing
on
a
the
shot.
other side of that?
Yeah, I was almost going to do a shot on the other side
Wait,
of it.
is it like I'm standing facing towards the barrier or like I'm leaning over the ocean?
So say like obviously with Jack's character, say he goes up. You know the shot in it where he goes up and he grabs it and then falls down screaming, and it's the whole that bit.
You got me.
It would have been I would have been with the camera on the other side of the railing,
Oh,
pointing at him.
you would have had me doing that though, I'm guessing.
Oh no, I would have done
You would
it.
have been strapped up.
Yeah, but
Okay.
like
Cool.
I remember I was going, yeah, we can do this, and Jack was like, I was like, no, it will be safe because ropes and stuff, like his harness and stuff, will be perfectly safe. And then I remember just kind of half mentioning it to Molly, and well, it didn't happen.
See, I have the go ahead with doing anything like that as long as I do it before the person finds out. It's like, oh yeah, I did this the other week, and they're like, you did what? It's like, yeah, I was strapped to the side of a bridge, I was hanging over a train, I was on the other side of a pier, so like, oh fucking hell.
I get it, but the front, like I completely forgot that she might have an issue with it. So I was like, oh, for this shot I'm gonna do this, and she went, you're gonna do what now? I was like, am I not? And she went, no. I was like,
Oh, no, see, the only thing with me is it's not, oh, you could hurt yourself. Isn't that illegal?
mhm.
That's the only thing. They're not, like, Laura doesn't care anything about my safety because she knows I will be alright. It's more, you're
I mean,
gonna
you
get in trouble
hit a
with
car
this.
in one, so I think with most things you're gonna probably bounce and be fine.
Yeah. I've done so much stupid shit in my life.
We
that-
threw you downstairs
Yeah, I've done.
for an afternoon.
Yeah, that was fun.
You did what now?
We threw you
I
downstairs
thought I was
at
doing this
GBA.
multiple times.
At GBA, didn't we? Doing the promo video last summer.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
The only thing I would have said about that is next time I would want a back brace.
Yeah.
Because then I can throw myself better.
Yeah.
I was having to shield so much falling down. I had to go down like sideways. If I had a back brace, I could go forwards next time. I could really play this out. I had to pussy fall.
That's on the channel somewhere, isn't it?
It's
No,
on
it's
the
not.
website under like portfolio and stuff we're doing for clients. It's not on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Check the
It's
website to
unlisted.
see Joe breaking himself.
Yeah, the links for all that stuff.
It
down
did
below.
hurt a little bit.
So this is a bit of a topic that was kind of not really just for updating the audience, but to get us all on the same speed, because we've talked about this and we've talked about this, but we haven't talked about this, the filmmaking masterclass series.
Oh yeah.
I was talking to you about it on Thursday, and just kind of like thinking about how we're going to structure it a bit better. So I knew we were going to start and talk about it. And basically, the way that we were thinking that would kind of work the best is not necessarily shooting in chronological order, but we're going to basically have like an intro video to the series, then have kind of one that's going to be a mix of probably all of us talking about stuff about how to like how we go from the base idea and start building it up.
Yeah.
Then we'll go on to your episode about script writing, and then we'll go to Joe, since he's done most of the directing so far. So we'll go how like he would work with you to kind of go from like
I need
a raw
to figure out
screenplay
what
to
your idea
like
is.
the actual shooting
conceptualize
script,
it.
if you like. So we go from like the screenplay to a shooting script, if you
Yeah.
like. Go through that stage, then how that
I
goes
have
on
to talk
to
to-
me with the
Yeah.
shot list, and then we build the shot lists and stuff that I use on set. Then we'd go on to planning like shooting days and how you organise that kind of stuff, and how do you need to get permits, all that kind of stuff. Then it would be going on to the production, so camera, lighting, sound, acting, directing.
Mhm.
Then after that, it's obviously post, so it's
Oh great. Just hold the damn thing.
yeah, I'm going to. So
Someone
there would
hold
be, obviously the main edit,
The main edit, then the
color grading, VFX, all that kind of stuff, and then that'd be it.
final edit.
Does that?
Yeah.
sound how you were
I'm
thinking?
good with that, yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing we need to make sure is, now that I'm in the area again, I'm not a time constraint. But if you're going back to uni,
Yeah.
we need to make sure that we
Yeah.
Oh,
get
yeah,
What we're
all
gonna do
your
is shoot
videos
your
done.
stuff first, so that like it's done well before you go back.
Well, how many are you thinking in terms of like the screenplay one? If you
We
just,
have,
or you just want
It'd
one?
be basically like
2 episodes, maybe 3 that include you. One is basically all your stuff.
so one would just be
Another
one
is
you
the
just talking
collaboration
to.
between you and me.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then another one later on. I can't remember which one.
Because you're gonna be running audio on set now, so then it would like we'll have you talking about
The audio.
audio stuff on set as well.
Okay. So in terms of the screenplay one,
And obviously
Um,
there'd be the initial one where we're talking about the base idea. So
Yeah.
you'd be in 4 or 5 of it.
So it's the whole thing of we can get yours done kind of early on, because then we can make sure that we're
It's
happy with
done.
everything.
Mhm.
If we need to do any reshooting, we can do it.
Yeah.
Because when you
Because
go
we
back
no
to
point
uni,
filming like
it's harder
one of
for
your
us.
episodes the week before you go back, and then you not being free that week, and we needed to like do a pickup.
yeah.
well, I can film all my individual ones at once because
Yeah.
even talking about that, all I really would talk about is like the form of it.
Yeah.
So I'm putting it together, and then I'll do like the content, so like the subjective stuff, like how I'd write characters and
Yeah.
things like that.
But yeah, that's the filmmaking masterclass. That was a mix of kind of like just us figuring out, getting on the same page, and
Yeah.
also kind of updating the audience into kind of what we're intending to do with the
It's
series.
pretty much when we want to make a video, we have to go through all the steps,
Yeah.
talk to everybody, figure out what it is, and it's instead of
Yeah.
it just being oh yeah, we kind of do this.
Yeah. This is actually going
explaining
to go
how
into
we do it.
detail on how we actually, like our whole process.
Although it's very amateur stuff, we actually do put a lot of work into it.
Yeah.
And so it takes a lot longer to make a video than we realise, and
Yes.
people who have never made a video before will realise.
Yeah,
If you've
it's-
made one or two, you realise
It's
making a
time
video
consuming.
is a piss take.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like, oh great, we need to actually shoot this thing. Before you do that, you've got to do all the preparation before. Then when you're shooting, you inevitably will have pickups.
Oh god, yeah.
So then you have to go back and do pickups later on.
Yeah, and
After
keep
you-
continuity during pickups,
Yeah.
which is
But
difficult.
you're doing all of that after you've already started doing some of the editing process.
Yeah.
So you start editing and go, shit, well, we did some extra stuff here, but we really need this shot. We missed this out. So
Mhm.
then you've got to fucking redo everything, and
Yeah.
it's fun.
Speaking of the process of making videos, follow up for Secret Valentine. You're gonna be doing some writing for that.
Yeah, I'm figuring it out. We've completely changed how I've decided to do it. Like the main story is going to continue on, but instead of it being a continuous continuity, which only worked for maybe the first couple episodes because
People didn't change
the
significantly
changes
between
one
like.
year wasn't too important. Now it's like, oh great,
It's been
we're
a
trying
while.
to make it seem like it's happening one after another. Yeah,
And
it's
people
about
are rapidly
3 years
aging.
since the first one came out. You cannot hide that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like, great, we're going to have big spans of time in between. So the story does happen, there's big gaps in between that you don't get, but
we can
easy
like
implication.
we can easily like just with like costume and dress setting and character stuff. We can easily kind of do mini flashbacks that suggest that it was in the past.
Well, it's
Because
more,
appearance-wise, I haven't really changed that much,
No.
to be honest.
Nor has Anna, but it's just like
if it continues on for another year or two,
You'll start to notice
you
it if
try
it's
and make
like,
because the
you
thing is.
look like a 15-year-old. You can
Yeah.
try with makeup and costume as much as you want, but
Yeah.
trying to look
Like for short
4 or 5
flashbacks,
years
you
ago,
can do
you're
it.
fucked.
Yeah, for short flashbacks, you can do it. For entire videos, you just can't
Exactly. Like, there's only so much we can.
pull
do.
off. And we don't have the budget for professional makeup to make people look 10 years younger, like fucking
No.
Robert Downey Jr. in Civil War. In that whole like
Yeah.
opening like simulated scene thing that was in Civil War.
Well, yeah,
Like we don't have the ability to do that yet.
no, we don't.
Like we can't get the guys that did War of the Planet of the Apes to come and CG in like a younger version of yourself onto your own head.
well, Andy Serkis.
So,
Bless
yeah,
him.
it's that.
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
So we're looking at probably shooting that soon-ish.
Yeah,
Once
I've got to rewrite the story once I've found. I have to kind of start writing a story, and once I like how the story is going, I then have to find a piece of music that either influences that story or complements it.
Mhm.
And if I find something that I really like, then it works. If I find something that doesn't match up at all, but I like the song, I then have to rewrite the script to make that fit. And once I have a good correlation between a bass script and the music, I then can go from there.
Yeah.
But I have to figure out where I want the story and what piece of music I want.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I've got to figure all that out before I can start to go ahead with knowing what it's going to be called, what the story is, and everything.
I think that was your secret Valentine follow.
Are you still going to incorporate the word secret, or because I think that would be cool? Like
that was just a fluke. That was just a pure fluke that we were like, while editing secrets and we picked Secret Valentine, we were sat in the edit, weren't we? And we were just like,
Matthew put it forward and I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And then when I saw the actual effect that he did, it was like, God, this is so fucking cheesy. But it'll do. It worked. It'll work. It'll do. Great.
It was just such
So, no, it's not going to have anything to do with that.
No secret.
That was a one-off. It's
pure fluke.
It's going to be called Valentine something.
Yeah, it's got the word Valentine hidden somewhere. I'm gonna have it just like when you're watching the video in the corner, it's just gonna be the word Valentine appears for like one frame, and you've got to pause the video right at the time to see it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try. I am actually going to actively try and put in a couple of little secret things here and there.
Yeah.
As we always do, but a couple of real clever ones.
Easter eggs.
Just to kind of.
We had. Well, wasn't it during 12? Was it 12/21 that we had the doppelganger? No, we had secrets.
Yeah.
In the back.
In one of the old videos, we had secrets
in it.
actually in the background. When he's moving around, so
yeah, it was the shot where
flashing.
It was the opening shot of Secret Valentine where you get up and nut the camera.
Yeah,
and in the background was secrets, and then later on, when you and Anna start watching something on your computer, it's the doppelganger.
We have the doppelganger.
Yeah.
So it's like we reuse assets because
why not?
One, we won't get yelled at by any big corporation, but two, it's a bit of fun. Just like, hang on, isn't that one of their videos already?
Yeah.
What the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
A bit meta.
It got a bit meta when we had the previous one in the continuity.
Yeah,
sure,
the previous one is... Oh no, one thing I desperately want to do at some point, and it'll be a complicated thing to pull off, but it can work, which is we make a video, but in the pickups, there'll be a scene like where they're watching a TV, or there's a TV screen in the background, and I want it to be where we release the behind the scenes before we release the video, and it's the behind the scenes of, say, Secret Valentine follow-up. There is the Secret Valentine follow-up bloopers, but the bloopers is on the screen as you're watching, so it's like, wait, this timeline is fucked up.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Some really weird shit that's like, hang on, that came out before this, but that was filmed at the same time. I want it to just be like...
That'd be fun.
It's not going to be the next one, but I want it to be there, and if somebody ever just happened to find that and watch it, it'll be so funny.
We've been talking... I've mentioned this before, I mentioned it more recently as well, regarding gaming, because we want to actually record some games again.
Yeah. I've got my rig finally starting to behave itself again, so I can
record.
Plus I have good internet now.
Yes.
Or at least it's coming. It's being installed very soon, so when that comes, I can finally play GTA and we won't have the whole fucking fiasco that if anybody's ever seen Matthew's driving on my behalf, it is the worst fucking driving. He should not have a license.
Because obviously the lag from different internet speeds, I'll be going around the corner, but for you, I'm in the building over here and then across the road over here, and then
Can you please just in this part of the podcast?
I will find some of that footage. Yeah, I'll have a hunt.
Do the fucking Benny Hill bit. Okay, so I hope now we're coming back from this because that camera did just fucking cut out. So
yeah,
hopefully it
Benny
worked
Hill
out.
bit. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll show it to you afterwards. Basically, because Matthew's internet is a good speed. It's what I would class as an average speed.
We've been upgraded. Yeah. We're on 100 now.
So you have a speed where you can actually play a game and what you are seeing is what you are actually doing. But when you're on my speed, which was the slowest of the slow about 10 years ago, when you're driving along, Matthew will be driving along and he might turn a corner. But what I'm seeing is this. I'm driving, there's the corner. Wait a second, I'm here. But then it's like, we're coming up to a fork, and I'm seeing cars on the right-hand side. So he dodges left on the fork, and then comes back right. I see him crash into the car and start to flip over, and I'm thinking, what the fuck? And then it's like, nope, we're actually driving, he dodged it. So I'm seeing all this stuff, but it's like every time it jumps back up to speed, it desyncs again for me. So I'm constantly syncing and desyncing. So I'm seeing all this weird shit, and I'm always laughing my ass off, because I always have it. He's the driver. Because if he's the driver, at least entertaining shit is happening, because it can be,
Yeah.
wait, we're having to go through another driving segment, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting when you have someone with as bad internet speed as me, because it's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
So it also looks fine to him, and you're just like maniacally
It was fine
laughing
to
at
me.
random
So I've been
moments.
cutting like between our perspectives. It's just like me going la 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 la, and then it's for you. It's like whoa, like then back to me. Da, 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 da.
It's great though, because whenever you have a driving scene, unless you're actively doing something like in one of the missions where you're hacking or you're just something interesting is happening, it's another driving segment. But when you're watching my driving segments, oh god, it will entertain anybody, because it's always something new and it's
Yeah.
always something random as hell. So yeah, I will no longer have that problem.
Yeah, which is going to make it very.
It's
I was
going to
gonna-
make it great, because now it won't take us 5 minutes for me to load into a game.
And it also means we can do the Criminal Mastermind series.
Yeah, I can finally do Criminal Mastermind. And Matthew heard what I've recently been playing, so we can guarantee who is the one person who, if everybody else quits, is going to complete this thing.
Yeah.
What have I nearly finished all 3 games of?
Dark Souls.
Oh god,
Jesus.
I finished the 3rd one first, because that was the most recent one, with all the DLC. I then bought the 1st and the 2nd one because they were in the sale. I finished the 1st one, which I will arguably say is one of the hardest games I've ever played, if not the hardest. And I played that with all the DLC, did every single thing in it, within reason, within like 1 or 2 playthroughs. And fucking hell. That game is hard. But now I'm getting up to the 2nd one, and the 2nd one is like, some areas are harder, some areas are easier. The fucking dodging still isn't good. Like, in the 3rd one, they finally figured out how to do proper dodging. In the 1st one, it's really janky, but when you learn when to roll, it works. But in the 2nd one, I'm still trying to consistently get a good dodge down. And I'll get it like 6 or 7 times out of 10, which is not what I need it to be. But then again, I'm not trying to speedrun the damn thing, so I don't need to dodge anything. So I can take hits. But even when sometimes you're dodging, you think, hang on, I perfectly dodged there. Why the fuck did I get hit? I don't know if it's just I still need to work on my dodging, if it's like some attacks are delayed ones and I need to work on them, or if it is just the game is fucking
Just
fucking
the
painful as
hitboxes,
hell. But I am now up to pretty much the final part. I've done both DLC sort of cut-off bits where you kind of go off to the side and do them. So I've done both of them, and they're both really fun, I actually discovered. One of them is so fun, except for the fact that they're annoying with bonfires. Like, you have to run through pretty much the entire DLC before you get to the second bonfire. So if you get like 90% of the way there, and then you die, you've got to run through the entire thing again, and it takes like 20 minutes to get back there. So the only thing is, if you die like 2 or 3 times, getting used to it, and then you finally get to the bonfire, but you die before you actually light it, you've got to rerun that entire thing. But they've got it set up so right before you get to the bonfire, like you come through into the upstairs of the house, and then there's floor missing, and then there's the bonfire. So you can't just say like, oh, I had to rerun it again, and I got like 3/4 of the way. You can't go from the second bonfire backwards. You have to go through the entire thing, because, oh great, you jumped down, so you're into the second part now, you can't go back up that, so it's the most infuriating thing, because you do actually have to run it twice at one point. It was so painful, but now I just have to finish up the second one. I'm pretty much doing the cleanup point. You've got to get these certain things. Once you've like got the crowns, you go to the king, kill the king to get the good ending, or what I call the good ending. I think it's technically like the bad one, but it's the most interesting one of them, and it's what they call the true ending, so I'm going for it. And once I've done that, I'm pretty much at the final boss. But getting to that point, it's like, oh my god, because I have to run around and fucking go here for one thing, then here for another, and then here for another, but they're all in different areas. And you don't know where you're going, you have to remember where it is, so you're trying to think, where the fuck was that giant? I have to go touch him, I'm gonna feel him up, and then he'll give me something. Where the fuck was he? So you're trying to remember all.
What kind of game are you playing?
Oh no, seriously. You go and talk to a dragon. The dragon gives you a bit of mist. The mist lets you go to a giant, but the giant is actually a tree. You then, through the power of this mist, walk into the giant, which you're now technically in his memories. You run through the memories, but you only have so long to do it, otherwise you get kicked out of the giant's memories. You find a giant that's pretty much dead on the ground, you touch him, you get kicked out of the memory. That's it. But the thing is, there are 3 giants and only one of them is important, so you've got to go touch them all 3 to figure out which fucking one is the right one! I hated that section so much.
Touching up giants and entering the memories, basically.
Oh, yeah. You do that and then you touch up I think it's a stone dragon.
Oh.
So this is a mix of like Inception and some really freaky shit.
Yeah.
Wait, if you actually see it, it's not as... I'm kind of not really describing it because it can be... when you're... It's... Dark Souls does have some weird shit in it.
Right.
Like, it's got some real weird shit. And
Mm-hmm.
all I would say is, if you think Dark Souls is a bit weird, don't even look at Bloodborne.
I really want to play Bloodborne, actually.
It's good, but what I will say is there was a boss who literally hits you with his placenta. And he's whipping it around like
It's
a giant...
proper, like, it's like Lovecraftian monsters, though. It's like really cool
It's
looking.
basically if you mix Dark Souls with Lovecraft,
Yeah.
but it's set in Victorian times, so you actually have guns.
Yeah.
Okay, what does the gun do? Well, instead of giving you a shield where you block stuff, you now have to shoot the guy just before he hits you. And it's a very offensive game. And so I actually like it. I want to play it out, but I don't have anything that will play it because it's a PS4 exclusive. I think. It's either PS3 or PS4 exclusive. And I sold my PS3, so I would have
I've
to.
got both. I might buy it.
Well, there's a PS3
Y'all can come
there,
round
but
mine and
fall
play
through
it.
there.
We can have a little gaming session.
Hey, if you ever want to play it, what I will say is I will sit there and watch you play it, and I will help you and commentate, but I will not tell you where to go and what to do because I know the game. I've watched playthroughs of it because I liked it, but I couldn't play it. So I know what to do in it. Plus I know how to fight. When you've done all 3 Dark Souls, the fighting's pretty similar. You find one OP weapon and fucking wreck with it. Always go Dex. Dex is the fucking scummiest thing ever, but it works. But I am talking a lot about Dark Souls, and basically...
This is the Dark Souls episode.
Okay.
Dark Souls podcast.
This is what I've been doing for the past 3 months, because my internet is that bad, I can't do multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
So I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna beat Dark Souls. All of it. I'm not doing Demon Souls, that's even fucking worse, I'm leaving that out. But because I do that, we're pretty sure, if we're doing Criminal Masterminds,
We can do that.
we fuck up at one point, I am probably the only person, if we fuck up 5 or 6 times, who's going to commit to finishing it. Because I have done this so much already.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned Criminal Masterminds to you, haven't I, before?
Yeah.
So basically, I
Hard
watched
mode, no deaths.
the Achievement Hunter guys do it, and that involved Gavin from Slumber Guys, who's part of Achievement Hunter, and he managed to be a part of the team that completed it. So if they can do it, and they had Gavin, who's one of the biggest idiots I think I've ever come across, I'm sure that me, Joe, Jack, and Carl can actually complete this. So basically, you've got to do every heist in order with the same people on hard difficulty without dying.
Mm.
And if you complete it, you get 10 million each in game, which would be rather nice because I really want to buy a yacht.
I'm not caring about that, the only thing I'm doing is I'm a completionist.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't exactly get necessarily all the achievements, but I will go for all the hard ones.
Yeah.
And if I can get all the achievements, I will. Some of them, if they're unrealistic, fuck it. But that's one that I'm like, as a completionist, I need to get.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm not going to sit there and grind to level 300 in GTA, but if they have something like that, that's a challenge. It's not like I have to sit and play GTA for hours and then, or I've got to find some hacker guy to do it.
No.
I'm going to say, go for it.
Yeah.
I will do this.
Because it's a challenge.
It's worth it. I'm not
Yeah.
going to spend 2 years grinding through
No.
everything. That's if you've got a good group of friends and you're not grinding, you're playing the game. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
But if you are literally just doing it because you want to hit rank 300 and then you can say, I got the achievement to do that.
No.
I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah. We're going to be doing a Let's Play us 3 in Slender the Arrival.
You guys haven't ever seen anything about that, have you?
I've played... No, I haven't played... I've watched playthroughs of some of the Slender games. Not all of them, but some of them.
The Arrival one is a good one. It's got a good story. I watched, I'd say about a third of it.
Yeah.
So it's actually really good.
Yeah.
I
It's the most recent
desperately
one,
want
so.
one of you guys to be the controller
Okay.
because that way I can commentate.
Mhm.
And it's so
You're
much
scared.
easier being... No, it's so much easier being a commentator than it is being the controller.
Yeah.
Being the
Yeah.
controller, you have to nut up and do stuff. If you're just commentating, it's so much easier.
I also think, in terms of, because we're kind of playing that for research for Don't Fade, I think we should play Outlast as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever
I've
played
done
that.
all of Outlast. I know everything about it. It's a good game.
Yeah, I've played the
Outlast-
first one.
I'm
It's
getting-
terrifying.
Outlast 2 is so much better, I would say.
Yeah.
The first one is... It's in the asylum. It's pretty interesting. There's a good story behind it when you actually get to the end. It's like really interesting.
Yeah.
The second one is just balls to the wall, fucking... You know Children of the Corn?
Mhm.
Like the fucking terrible movie from ages
Yeah.
ago. If you were to do that but make it modern day and basically say let's crank this up to 11,
Yeah.
that's what it basically turns
I
into.
watched Let's Play Play Pals, so Michael and Gavin from Achievement Hunter. I've watched the playthroughs of both.
I saw 4 middle-aged men drunk off their asses doing
Okay,
it.
that would
and
be fun.
That is so much funnier.
Because they didn't, like, they both felt that Outlast 1 was better, like, it was scarier.
Outlast 1, in some aspects, is scarier, but its story could have done better.
The story wasn't as good.
However,
But
did they go for full, like, did they do full completion style, get all the story, or did they just kind of...
They were just trying to get from, like, the beginning to the end.
I saw 2 guys play the first one, and they were both full story guys, so they looked for the story, they actively did it, and it's a really good story. But the second one, even better story, and they're playing with a guy whose literal name is the Completionist.
Right.
If you're playing with someone whose literal name is that, what do you think they did story-wise? They fucking got everything. They were collecting every page, they were doing stuff like that. I didn't see the entire thing, but I know the story is so good. And when you are getting into it and learning everything, at one point it's not as, this is scary, but it's more like, this is actually pretty creepy, but I want to know what's going on here. Like,
Yeah.
I want to know where this is going to go. Plus you get invested in the characters then. If you're, fucking hell, if you're just playing through it to try and get through it, you get bored after a while.
Yeah.
It's not scary, it's more, damn it, this guy's chasing me now, and then I'm going to have this guy coming here. If you get invested, it's like, holy fuck, that guy, I know all about him. He's actually pretty fucking creepy. Yeah, I've got to run from him, but at least I know about him, and he's more interesting than...
I don't know whether I played I can't remember whether I played the first one or the second one, but it's like, it's more outside. It's...
The second one is like, you're pretty much always outside, like in cornfields. The first one, you're pretty much always inside, because you're,
it must have been the second
trying to
one.
escape the insane asylum.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is you're in a lot of corn,
Yeah.
because you're pretty much like in the middle of backwoods nowhere in the south of America.
Yeah, it
You are
reminded me of the
fucking
setting
alright.
it reminded me of the setting of one of the most recent Tomb Raider games. I can't remember which one it was, but it's proper, like, the setting's just like really, really frightening, and I remember playing it, just close my blinds, turn all my lights off.
Or if you want a good scary game, Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
Oh, I watched
played
Soviet
that,
Womble play that.
Soviet!
Fucking hell.
Scream like a
His
little bitch.
quote was, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I watched him play the first Outlast,
so good.
and he only did 1 episode on it. And, like, within the first 3 minutes of him going into the fucking... He went into the asylum and was like...
It's like,
I heard a noise, he just went, it's fine!
It's like reverse out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, him doing that was good, but his Alien Isolation was...
Hilarious.
He made watching it, which was like kind of a tense game,
Mm-hmm.
but after a while it did just turn into, fuck, the alien's coming, what do I have to do now?
Yeah.
He made it interesting because he was constantly, by fully committing of closed blinds, black everything,
Yeah.
surround sound headphones, so it sounded like the alien was actually behind him. He made it more interesting because
Yeah.
you can watch it and after a while you might get a bit bored of the game, but he made it interesting.
Yeah.
Because he's constantly screaming like a little bitch.
Yeah. Soviet is
That's
fucking
some
But
hilarious.
Soviet, I love watching Soviet.
Have you seen, like, some of the, like, video essays done on how he makes... Like, how he uses subtitles? Because it's, like, really
Dude,
smart.
I was a Patreon for a while.
Oh, yeah?
So
Okay,
like,
yeah, fair
I got all behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I saw all the fucking
Like, just, like, the
screenshots
way he
and how he made
uses...
stuff.
Like, the way he uses subtitles is so smart.
He's
To, like,
clever, yeah.
He's figured out the exact time to use them. The correct like he does it in such a way that
Yeah, whenever
he
Simon's
emphasizes.
talking.
Yeah, but it's like he only emphasizes the bit that is actually relevant. Like, so many people have tried to recreate what he's doing, and it just doesn't have the same effect because they're not emphasizing the right points.
It's that, and also you need to have a good sense of comedy, 2, a good group to play with,
Yeah.
and 3, you just need to be able to say, balls to the wall, fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
And if you have ever played with them, you realise that they really don't give any shits. Like, I hang out on ZF servers, I've got my little room in their servers.
Yeah.
I have my cookie and everything.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you just hang out with people there, you realise nobody gives a fuck. So, if you are just there having a good time, like they are, then
Yeah.
you realise that he's just doing it because he enjoys it. And if he wants to get paid, he knows he has to make something funny.
Yeah.
So, he'll put like 3 weeks worth of effort into making one video.
speaking of the Let's Plays, I'm going to be doing a series on the Kerbal Space Program soon. I've been meaning to do it since I got the game, but I just haven't had time to actually just sit down and actually record. Talking about doing a Payday series at some point soon because Jack plays, so we could easily play Payday.
If we do Payday, I need to get you Hoxford, or the new version of Hoxford, which I think is, I forgot the name of it. Basically, instead of having to hold buttons, you can tap it.
Okay.
So you can like if you need to pick a door, you can just press F and then you can type.
Right.
Normally, what you have to do then is you have to press F and then you have to start typing, and you've got to hold F. If you need to press the F button, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You don't ever have to really press it much, but it means like you can also see things like how many pages have gone off.
Yeah.
You don't have to remember that.
Yeah.
Because if you're there with a good squad, great. That's great. You will remember that. But if you're having to go in halfway through and you don't know and nobody's telling you, it'll tell you like 3 have gone off.
Yeah.
So it's like fuck. At least I know how careful. It gives you estimates and so like this is people's health. This is the downs. It's mainly instead of having to remember everything and it being like if you're a hardcore player you will know everything. It gives you that I'm coming in. How much do I have to learn? Well, when you see all this stuff on the screen, you're going to think, fuck, this is an awful lot of shit. But then when you realise you look at it maybe once or twice, all it's there is a prompt, like, wait, how many times have they actually gone down? You glance. You're not constantly looking. It's like little reminders.
Yeah.
It's a helpful thing. And I love it. I use it whenever I play. I have too many things in that now. I think I have every single gun and almost every single attachment. I have so many builds and shit. I'm at the point now where it's like, I don't want a prestige because then I have to redo all my builds.
Yeah. Which
is just a pain in the ass because I have to grind up to pretty much like level 80 or 90 when you have enough perk points. Yeah. Redo the build and then it's like, great. I've got 10 levels left before I'm just grinding money back.
Yeah.
And I've got a nice vault in that game. My vault is fucking pure de resistance and it's full of money. But I'm still trying to fill it out. I want even more in there. I think I'm like the 20... I actually don't know how much is in there. It's a lot. If I had a real bank with that much money in it, I would be set for life. I would be so happy. But yeah. I want to, as the completionist in me, I want to, in theory, have my vault full, which is going to take so long. But if you have like 3 people who can just keep doing missions with you and put them on the Death Wish and the even higher one, I think it's Insanity. You just set it to the highest levels and grind through stuff. Yeah. You're set.
I mean, if you get me on like Insanity, then you will be carrying me. I'm not that good at Payday yet.
If you're doing a loud mission on Insanity, you have to have builds.
Shut up.
It's starting to hurt. Right, where can I put this?
It's kind of fit it in.
I'm
gonna wedge it in there.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're playing on the Insanity difficulty, even maybe Death Wish, if you're going loud, you need builds. You need a proper build, like either dodge, or you need one of the ones that I love, which is you basically. I've nicknamed it Joker,
right?
Which is where you like if you were the Joker from Batman, he pretty much takes his enemies, turns them like into his own henchmen, and sends them back out.
Yeah,
that's the idea. Yeah. You intimidate guys into like you generally find the best guys that you can intimidate. There's only one type that's really good. You intimidate him. You then turn him into an ally for you.
Yeah.
And as soon as you turn him into an ally, your armor goes up from I think it's like 200 armor to about 700.
Jesus, okay.
But you can do that twice. So you now have 1,200 armor.
1,400.
1,400. But when you are doing that, when you are pretty much wearing like a light ballistic vest, a light ballistic vest compared to the heavy armor, you can run. You can do all this cool shit. You can even still dodge with that technically. Yeah. But you've got more armor than the heavy, and you're wearing a light ballistics vest. Yeah. So you're really quick. And you've now got 2 extra guys who will basically never die. Yeah. And they're helping you out, and they're doing all this shit. It's like, that is so much fun. Yeah. If you're stealthing, you'll be fine. Because a silencer, put yourself on like 3 or 5, you're fine. It's only if you go loud you need to actually worry.
Yeah. Lewis, you added talking about a couple of movies here.
Yeah, obviously just to point out how like shit it's been received and how not to make a film.
Don't
emoji movie. I don't want
to. Can we just have that is the only. I don't want to acknowledge it exists.
You don't want to talk about it, that's fine. We can cut that bit out.
No, like it deserves mentioning the fact that no, not seen it. This is a recommendation
No,
from RS as a company. Don't watch it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Seriously, don't.
Just pretend we didn't talk about that.
That isn't creative. Like, that isn't a film. That is just pandering to middle-aged women on Facebook and 13-year-olds who have just got Facebook.
I was waiting. This is like a kids movie.
Yeah.
Wait, women? Yeah, they kind of do this in the
Yeah,
kids.
the 40,
that's like
the typical 40-year-old woman on Facebook.
The 40-year-old woman who wants to be hit with the kids, basically.
Yeah. Who puts like 17 emojis in a post about how her cat fell off the stairs or something. Like, that is the audience for that movie.
How did they get Morgan Freeman? That's what I want to know.
Fucking Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
Sir Patrick Stewart. He's been knighted for Christ's sake.
Have you not seen the interview with the two of them? It was like, if Morgan Freeman ever came out, he'd pretty much be instantly knighted if he became a British national. But he isn't, so he's just Morgan Freeman. But if he came out to England and became British, fucking Sir Morgan Freeman straight
Oh, it would be
guaranteed.
instant.
Then
again, he was in the Emoji Movie. I kind of have.
Yeah, but
I imagine the
Sir
Queen's
Patrick
being
Stewart-
like reconsidering Sir Patrick Stewart's knighthood at the moment.
I don't think so. I think he's
Revoked.
He's just revoked. Just chops the shoulders off.
No, well, apparently it has like this really like cynical, depressing message, especially like something for the kids to sit through.
Oh,
You know,
TJ Miller, who was in bloody Deadpool, came out and said it's a future comedy. So as far as I'm concerned, this movie can just go fuck itself. Moving on swiftly, The Dark Tower.
yeah, that looks like really
That looks quite
fucking cool.
interesting.
That does.
She could be a
Gunslinger.
bit of Idris Elba.
Yeah, Idris
Can't be
Elba,
Idris
Matthew
Elba.
McConaughey,
Mm-hmm.
dueling it out between worlds.
Mm-hmm.
I might start reading more Stephen King books, and
Yeah.
that'll definitely be the first one. That and It, I really want to read.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the clown one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really long apparently, but I'm not going to read all of his books because he basically just releases. Well, not so much now, but he basically releases about 12 books a year or something like that. So there's a lot basically. But yeah, Dark Tower's out soon, so I'm
That
going
looks
to
really good.
definitely
I
watch
definitely
that.
want to see that. You put here, should Star Wars take a break?
Yeah, so I was watching a podcast earlier. Someone called Mr. Sunday Movies. I don't know if he's
Oh, yeah,
watching.
I've watched this stuff.
He posed the question to, God, I can't remember what bloody podcast it is. Another one, just basically asking, should it take a break in terms of like the reason that Force Awakens was so hyped is because we had that massive gap between, you know, the prequels and then that one, and then before the prequels there was a massive gap between the original trilogy. And it's like the way he explained it was he sees Star Wars as less, obviously he's a film and stuff, but less like a movie and more like an event. You all to get together, and it's like kind of like Christmas, and you all like sit together and you watch it and stuff. And
It's now more like a franchise than it
Yeah.
was before.
and like
So you expect it every year, something new to be churned out.
Yeah.
and like obviously they're going with down the same path that the MCU's gone, but there's only certain franchises that work in that way. So
Yeah, I don't think
for
Star Wars
instance, we've only seen the MCU work in that way.
Yeah, the
We
MCU is
haven't
the
seen-
only thing that's actually managed to pull off like a constant continuity over multiple years that doesn't like fail.
The only thing I would say about Star Wars is when the original series came out, they came out like, with a little gap in between, but not too much. Then we had a big break, and then we had
Prequels.
the prequels, and they came out quite soon after each other. But then there was another break. With the fact that they had Rogue One and The Force Awakens, there's 2 movies.
And then we're gonna have The Last Jedi, and then isn't the Han Solo movie due next year?
Yeah,
Then the Han Solo
it's
movie,
episode
then
9.
episode
See, what I would
9,
say,
yeah.
if they were going to do it, I would say we've got
And then
it
probably
coming
something
out
else.
at Christmas. That's fine. Have the Christmas. We're going to have Han Solos next year. That's fine. Have Han Solo. Then break it.
But no, 'cause it's a trilogy, so you need episode 9.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is break it for like a year or 2.
Yeah, and then bring
Film
episode,
it properly. Get a good ending. Really put your time into it.
and then do episode 9.
And
yeah.
then delay it. Because if you have the delay, but you don't say when it's coming out, people are going to be wondering when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? You can tease stuff for it, but don't ever say you have a date, because then it'll give you enough separation. Because
Yeah,
we're
okay.
pretty much now inundated with so much Star Wars shit.
And not to mention the fact that, you know, Disney owns Star Wars and Marvel. The only reason they're trying to franchise Star Wars is to make a lot more money. So
Well,
basically,
no,
they're just all of this
see
money
the
from
fucking
Star Wars,
Clone
all of
Wars
this.
cartoon.
Oh god, yeah,
They
and
had
that.
that long in between. And technically, I think they said that was canon.
Oh, it's canon.
And so it's the whole thing of that's fine, but not many people really committed much to that. So you always had these things in
But
between.
that's canon.
If you read the Star Wars books, there was that going in between the actual trilogy, and then we had the prequel. There's
We
always
don't have that
Star
anymore
Wars
because
stuff.
that's all extended
all-
universe now.
That's extended universe.
But to fill in some reading stuff for people, they've now got Marvel to make fucking Star Wars comics that are adding more canon stuff to Darth Vader's story and a few other storylines.
All I'd say is
So it's like
they're bringing out so much stuff, which they kind of always have done, but they're trying
What's
to
Disney?
limelight everything. Don't limelight it all. Have it there, but only promote maybe like a couple of things.
well,
Because then at least it's like, well, there's more. If you want to see it, like there are basic promotions here and there.
Yeah.
You're not exactly just putting it out and not saying anything, but you're pushing everything
everything to
like
be on the
that.
same level. They should have the
Everything
main
is too
trilogy
much.
be like here, and then the spin-offs be here, and then everything else be here. Don't have everything else up promoted to this super high stream in your face all the time.
To be fair, the saga is like my main priority. Obviously, you know, I'm gonna watch the spin-offs because I want to know. Well, the thing is, I'm not even that looking forward to the Han Solo one that much, and
Well,
especially
they've been apparently
the
having
press
loads of
about that.
reshoots,
Yeah.
hasn't it?
Just really doesn't sound like it's going to be that good.
No.
I really want to see an Obi-Wan film.
So do I.
Really do, because there's so much potential with his character.
There's an awful lot of Obi story that we haven't heard, but I don't want to see it soon. I want to see it where it is we have a completely different actor play him. We don't try and sort of CG him to look younger. I want it to be a completely
Because
different
Ewan
actor.
McGregor's getting on a bit now, so he can't really do a young Obi-Wan anymore.
Exactly. I want it to be like in 5-10 years down the line.
Thing is,
we
I
get the story, and we have a completely
see.
different actor because then we don't have the whole problem of there's another Star Wars film. Plus, they can then write a good story and have a couple of the writers who are already doing new expanded universe stuff and new canon stuff, like actually collaborate and make a good storyline for him. Because with them kicking everything out into the expanded universe, well, that's great. There's a lot of free stuff there that you can use, but you've pretty much gotten rid of like 90% of the really cool, interesting stuff. That
Yeah.
if you actually looked into it, it's like this is good stuff. Why are you getting rid of this
Yeah,
from the real
yeah.
world?
Mm-hmm.
I like I can't remember which, because there's loads of different origin stories for General Grievous, but there's one where he was like an alien and he was like a knight of his planet or something like that, and then I can't remember very much detail, but someone basically fucked him over, and then he became like a cyborg, and I think that would be a cool story, not maybe central to a film, but at least like the antagonist to someone's origin story would be really cool.
Yeah, good. Have you seen or heard of Spider-Maul?
No,
God, you need to find out what Spider-Maul. You know Darth Maul?
yeah.
You know where he got cut in half and everybody
Yeah.
assumes he died when he
Oh
fell
god,
down
I can
the
see
pit?
where this is going.
Well, technically, there was a story where he didn't actually die,
Mm-hmm.
and what they did was they took the top half of his body and they attached it to a sort of cybernetic bottom half, but it looked like a spider because that had to replace all the section of him that had been cut off. So it replaced some of the organs, but it also
Yeah.
allowed him to move. But it made him look like a spider. So he became nicknamed Spider-Maul. And it is... Yep. That looks so much better than... And why couldn't they use that? But the thing was, you know what's really bad? That was canon! They made that real and then they kicked him into the expanded universe. Why wouldn't you want a fucking dual-ended lightsaber wielding Spider-Man?
It's just Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was like there's so much fucking spin-off stuff on. But that was canon at one point, I believe.
Yeah,
and
it
that was really cool.
All the extended universe stuff was canon at one point.
But can you just imagine?
Then Disney bought it out and
For
removed
one
half of it.
random reason, years later, they do like one of the like Rogue One, a side story that comes off, and in
It's
that side
Spider-Man.
story, it is Obi-Wan's story, and out of nowhere
Spider-Man.
comes Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because it's like I killed you killed my master, and then wait, you're alive. That would be such a good story. But because they've relegated it now, it will never happen.
No.
That was a great story that actually they put quite a bit of effort and detail into it, and now it's just been relegated.
I'm just waiting for the Mace Windu thing, because, you know, like everyone says, no one actually saw him die, so he's probably not dead. And then Samuel L. Jackson in an interview literally just said, yeah, he's not dead. He's totally not dead.
I really want
You
to
wanna
see what
where
Samuel
it
L.
comes-
There's a huge theory that he snuck.
Well, if
That's a really cool
did
theory, I
get-
like that.
So like betrayed. If he got betrayed, it is possible that could have happened.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see where they go, because I remember watching like a little behind the scenes clip that they put out for The Last Jedi, and it was just one of the clips in it was like Mark Hamill talking like after being interviewed, and he just said like, I never think they can surprise me on these things, but this one surprised me. So they're doing something very interesting with The Last Jedi that I'm really excited to see where they go with it.
I
think if it's surprising Mark Hamill, who's been on it since the beginning.
I know the story's been leaked, so if you want to know...
I don't.
No, I don't want to know anything.
I got like the very little bit spoiled, but then, but that was like, oh god, why did I have this told?
Yeah.
Then when I watched the actual trailer they released, they do kind of say one very specific part that I was like, I don't want this spoiling. Like, why did you tell me this? And then it's in the trailer. It's like, hang on.
I've not even.
Because I would have seen it here, and it's.
I've not even watched that. I'm not watching any more trailers for it until it comes out.
One big thing. I'm not gonna say it, but don't watch the trailers then.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
One of the trailers, if you watch it all the way to the very end, you'll want to watch it all the way up, like maybe 20 seconds before the trailer finishes, and then stop if you want to. Because up until there, it's not too important.
Well, a lot of it's actually just behind the scenes shots of just things happening, isn't it? In some of it.
Well, one of the, if you're watching like the big extended one,
Yeah.
if you watch the actual trailer part of that, you can watch the intro bit where I'm just gonna say names because I'm not saying what they're doing. You see, I've forgotten what the fuck Ray's name. Yeah,
Ray.
Ray. You see Ray doing the normal sort of Jedi stuff, cool stuff.
Yeah, because as you'd expect.
Yeah, as you said, she's gone and seen fucking Luke. You can tell,
like
some
you,
Jedi,
you know, there's going to be her
There's
using a
gonna be some
lightsaber
Jedi-
at some
you see
point
some
in the
Jedi
film. That's kind of obvious.
Yeah, some Jedi stuff is going on, and that's cool. Then some explosions happen. Explosions in the Star Wars film. This is like a Michael Bay film. You know what's going to happen. Then
It's Star Wars.
Then something else happens. I can't remember quite what happens, but something else happens, and then you'd want to cut. Because this stuff you expect to happen in a film, and then you want to cut. Because then the one key part comes that would...
And are you on about the thing that a certain person says? Yeah.
Right.
That's why I'm keeping it as vague as possible.
Things in a doorway, pretty much.
Yeah. That specific line gave me shivers.
I was like, why did you ruin this for me? And then when I see that, it's like, wait, I kind of know why he'd say this, but at the same time, it's like, this isn't the end. You can see, wait, why would they say that? There's still another movie to come. There's still another movie to come.
Yeah, so where's this going? It's really interesting.
We already know another character is going to die, or is going to happen. Why? Because the literal actor has died.
Yeah.
Leia has to go somewhere.
Yeah, that's
the character has died.
Because they've said she finished this film and they've come out and said, for respect, we are not CGing her into episode 9.
Exactly.
So she's not in episode 9, so we know she's not in it.
The actual actor is dead. So they're going to very carefully either
write her out somehow, yeah.
Or she's gone.
Yeah, she's gone
disappeared into space, either to go in hiding or something. So we know she's gone. From what this person says, I nearly said his name, but I didn't. From what this person says, they've pretty much given up. So 2 of the main characters are gone. Where the hell do you go with that?
Yeah, I'm like... Because the thing is, it says so much and so little at the same time. Because you're just like... Okay, so you're telling us that, but what does that mean?
Exactly. We know what we're talking about, but we have to be so vague because you don't want to know anything.
I'm sorry, but I don't want spoilers.
Yeah.
Is this making you kind of interested though?
Yeah, obviously.
It's like you're hearing kind of interesting stuff, and you're like, this is interesting, but it's too much.
Because my mind's automatically filling in the blanks of what potentially could be there.
So who do you think we're
No,
talking about?
I'm just not gonna
speculate.
No, I don't want anything.
Who do you talking about? Come on, one name.
Shall we move on? Fortnite.
Yes, let's
there you
move
go.
on. Let's
Fortnite.
move on, please.
Games, Phil. You've got a couple of games you wanted to talk about here. Fortnite.
Okay, this is my section now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Doing a couple of reviews of either games that have come out recently or are coming out. Generally, I'm trying to stay away from the big ones because they've got enough hype behind them. So, Fortnite came out, and it came out a couple of weeks ago. Kind of interesting, but at the same time, it seems like, where games will very constantly stick to one thing, and they very rarely branch out. Even if you're making like a giant new IP, if it's a shooter game, you're going to stick to the general shooter tactics.
No.
This kind of looks like it did the opposite thing. It tried to do a bit too much. Because what it is if you imagine Minecraft, you can build shit. So you're going to build a fort in this game. But the problem is, you're building a fort, you're building traps, but you're trying to survive in a sort of Left 4 Dead style way, so the zombies are coming for you. But it's not like you're trying to get from point A to point B. You're trying to find, I think, what they call the Atlas in most of the missions.
Yeah.
Trying to find the Atlas, which is basically your defend at this point. And you have to build a base around it and keep this thing alive whilst it does its job. Well, that's great, except unless you get really good at the building, sometimes the building is a bit like finicky. You have to, if you're doing a certain blueprint, you have to get every single fucking thing right. And getting it right whilst you're trying to go through all the different controls, it's like, great, I need to build this specific part, but I have to orientate it to this shape. But it could really work on its building system. The building system isn't very good. You don't exactly want to just go for the open the building tab and then there are all the parts and you have to find the one that you want. But that would almost seem a bit easier than what they've got right now, which is it's a 9x9 grid. So you need an L shape. You have to specifically colour in the L grid. So like 3 down and then 2 across. And then it will make you the L part. But then you have to properly line it up and say you need to reorientate it. You have to shift the orientation that way and then maybe shift it that way. It's not very well designed.
It's not like intuitive,
And if you're just building a base, because like we need to save the Atlas, you can build whatever shape you want. It doesn't matter, it's your base. But if you're told, oh, you need to build the radio tower, you're given a blueprint for the radio tower and you have to follow it to the mark. You couldn't build the staircase up, build structural supports, just like walls going up. You have to build every fucking railing, you have to build every bit underneath to support it. And if you don't build it properly as you're going along, you have to go along the outside and build the staircase up just to reach some of the parts. Could have done a pretty better. Plus, when it's a shooter, you're feeling like, why am I doing this when I'm meant to be shooting stuff?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's the opposite of doing one thing really well. It's doing a lot of things, but it could very much work on what it's doing. Some people are loving it, some people aren't. One thing that I've heard about, I need to do a little bit more looking into, but they decided, it seems like they were going to start with a free-to-play model. So free-to-play model, free-to-play...
Pause. Go.
But yeah, because it's a free-to-play model, it went in thinking, okay, free-to-play, I might have to spend some money to get certain parts, like certain resources, which are actually kind of important if you want to progress into the game. Yeah, they had that model where you had to pay for some bonuses. But then they decided, no, we're going to make you pay for the game. They still kept microtransactions in. It's you buy the game and then it is a free-to-play but pay-to-win model still. I'm still going to look into this, but it seems like that's a little bit of a fucking bullshit move.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a, wow, you're doing a bait and switch and trying to cop out with that much money. I don't know much about it, but it's a interesting tactic, I will say the least. Another thing that came out recently, by recently I mean it originally came out like 2014, but it just finally came out of alpha. I think it was beta. The Long Dark, if you've ever heard of that.
No.
Really good game. I enjoy it a lot. I've played it since about 2015. The idea originally was that you are stranded in the middle of Canada. In the middle of wild Canada. And the problem is that there is a giant snowstorm going on. It seems like it's winter, but there's been a catastrophe of some sort. Like, the rest of the world is fucked. But because you're out in the middle of wilderness nowhere, you have a chance of surviving. But the only problem is there is nobody else there, so you're trying to find food. You're trying to make sure that you have shelter. You're trying to make sure you're going to survive, have enough clothing, make sure your clothing doesn't wear out. If you get injured, make sure you have bandages and medical supplies. And it's just a survival game. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
And I played quite a bit of the sandbox and that was a lot of fun. And the reason I'm saying it just recently came out is it was only ever the sandbox mode. They said they were making a story. I think it was maybe like 3 or 4 days ago. The actual date was it was about, I think, the 1st or the 31st. It came out with the story mode. So now I have been just going through the story mode, and the story mode's kind of interesting. Played maybe like 2 or 3 hours of it. If you play the sandbox mode and tried playing story mode, you're gonna hate it. Because in sandbox, you see something, you'll go over to it and pick it up, and you'll kind of hoard stuff, and you'll start to properly plan everything out. Whereas in the story mode, it's very much a, you don't need that just yet. But I want to pick it up. I want it right now. You don't need that just yet. it was like, at one point I had a giant gash in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the game there's something called rose hips, which is just a herb you find all over the place.
Okay.
And if you cut it up and boil it into a tea, it's meant to be helpful. It's meant to help with injuries.
Okay.
But they didn't want me to make this tea, even though I knew about it from playing the game. They said, you don't need to use that now. Use some peroxide, which is a very rare resource. Use some bandages, which are limited, when I can go out and find an almost unlimited supply of rose hips just by wandering out, because it grows pretty much everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but I don't want to use this stuff, and you have to use it. It honestly says in the journal, use peroxide to clean wound.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't want to do this. It's like, you need to make a fire to survive the night. I'm inside of a cave. I have a fire that's going for 8 hours, and it is about 10 o'clock at night. That's fine. That'll keep going for most of the night and into the very early hours of the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And if I wake up a little bit cold, I'll be fine. I'm in a cave, and it is technically what the campfire was saying, 80 degrees in here. I'm fine. But no, it's like, nope, you need a 9-hour campfire. When it's like 9 hours is going to take me, like, I'm going to have woken up by this point, and the fire's still going to be fucking burning.
Uh-huh.
But it was like, no, you need to do this. Yeah, if I go outside, I instantly get cold, and I get a hypothermia warning. You understand it as if you've never played the game before. It's good. It's teaching you everything. It's teaching you how everything works. It actually tells you good, useful tips for the game of how to survive. When you've played it and you know everything, you're just kind of like hampered because you want to see the story, but you don't have to go through all this kind of tutorial shit.
Yeah.
But as soon as you get past that, it does get a bit more interesting. You learn more story.
Mm-hmm.
You get more options. I must say, in about the first hour and a half, there was a fucking creepy-ass cave section, which I loved, because up until that point, it was like, this is boring. And nothing has happened that's interesting. I was on a phone call to someone simply because I can't listen to music in case I need to pay attention to something instantly.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm on a phone call to someone, I can just sit there and chat and chill.
Yeah.
And if something interesting comes up, I can say, hold on a second, something cool's happening. And they just wait for me. And it was like that up until I hit the cave, where the cave was actually kind of creepy. And there are noises going on. And as soon as you step out the cave, there's a fucking wolf. So you're going from nothing to cave. Weird noises. I'm in a dark place, and I've only got a torch to see everything. Yeah, kind of creepy. To instantly step out, there's a wolf. Fuck! And you just have to go like, great, I've got a torch. Fucking throw the torch and hope the wolf runs away. And the wolf doesn't always run away, I will admit. But it might still start walking towards you, at which point you're thinking, shit, get another torch out. Because apparently the torches will either scare the wolf off or piss him off. And I threw one at him, hoping it would make him run away. It didn't. So now I'm holding another one going, shit, throw a second one, then he runs. But he runs away the direction I need to go, so I have to start stalking the fucking wolf with 2 torches. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good game. I love the game. But at the same time, it's like sometimes...
Well, in fact, the more you talk about this, did Funhouse play it?
I don't know if they did. It came out in September 2015. It's a very old game. And the story mode, they didn't have at that point. They had like all the assets of the story mode, but none of the story put in there. So you're kind of going around trying to find out your own story. You're finding places like a nuclear bunker, old hydroelectric dam, like a bunch of little campsite houses by the lake where people would go to if they wanted to go fishing or stuff. So you're finding all this story and you're putting it together yourself, but there is no actual story, whereas now they've fully implemented a full story, full narrative. It seems a bit like, I like that, but I'm never going to touch the story again. Like, I played it so I wouldn't know about it, and I like it, but I'm never going to touch it. I'm going to go back to the sandbox book, because it's so much more interesting.
Yeah, and you've got, like, it feels like more restrictive now, I'm guessing.
A bit, yeah. Once you get past that point, and you've pretty much... Once you get to the point where, like, as soon as you pick it up once, you can pick it up again, and you've done that with a lot of things, it's a lot more freedom of choice. Because you can go, oh shit, I need some of these because I don't have a store of it, I need this now to save. So much better. But at the same time, it's a bit limiting. Like, before, you could just go venturing out and find food, and you could stockpile it, and you could do, like, about 3 days treks in different directions to get a bunch of stuff and make a home base. Now you don't have that. Now you're going from one base to a new place. You have one meal there, which is like a carcass that you find. You use that, you then have to go to a new place. It's a bit hampering, but I understand it's a story, so they they have to put certain things in place to make it work, and it's good, but I don't like it. I like the sandbox mode, so I'm just going to stick to the sandbox. Another game that's coming out is Ironcast. Told you a little bit about it before.
Ironcast.
Yeah. Basically, it's like if you've ever played Mahjong.
No.
Oh, sorry, no, what? No, I don't think it's Mahjong. If you ever played Candy Crush, like you,
Alright.
you link 3 of them up. It's kind of like that, but instead of trying to line 3 up, you drag a line between them all. So you can go in diagonals and you can link everything up. And by linking things up, you get your resources. So by getting resources, you can shoot, you can put up shields, you can do all this stuff for your mech, which you are piloting, which is cool. Except, I forgot to mention, this is World War II. France has invaded England, so you're driving around in a fucking steampunk-style mech. And you're fighting against the French mechs. But sometimes the French mechs aren't mechs, they are trains. But the trains still have guns! And they're traveling...
Obviously.
Yeah, of course. And they're traveling along. But the thing is, it's kind of funny when I'm looking at the screen because you see the center section where all the resources are, where you're trying to link things up. And you've got your mech on the left-hand side, which is here for the camera, and you've got the opponent on the right. And if you're ever walking, which is dodging in the game, your characters actually start walking towards each other, but they never get closer. But if you have the train, you just see the train constantly driving towards you at like 40 or 50% speed, which is quite fast. But this train is like, how am I shooting this thing if it's constantly driving towards me? This thing must have been 300 miles away by the time I eventually kill it, because it's travelled at this speed constantly, which is a little bit funny to look at. But it's a really good game, and I got a chance to play it out, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. Yeah, a lot of fun. And the last one I'm going to talk about is Agents of Mayhem. Have you ever played GTA?
Yeah, briefly.
Have you ever played Saints Row?
Yeah, my brother's obsessed with it. So.
Saints Row is kind of like the complete comic spin-off. Completely different company. But they went down, instead of trying to be serious, they went down complete, let's just have fun with this.
Yeah, I remember in one of them, one of the weapons was the dildo.
Yeah, I was actually thinking.
The penetrator. But it got banned in Australia because it was a penetrator.
Yeah.
So funny. Well, at the end of, I think, the third one, the story completely came to an end. There was no coming back. Pretty much the complete universe was blown up, and the guys are rocking out in the spaceship to music. There is no ending here.
Yeah.
Or at least that is the ending. There's nowhere to continue. So what they've said is, we're going to leave it there. Saints Row is finished. There's no more story to that. But imagine, same sort of cityscape, but now there are literal agents of chaos. Like, there are bad guys with superpowers, or more like technology, coming to attack the city. Same sort of vibe, where it's completely silly and wacky. And you're a bunch of street thugs with superpowers that are now the agents that are going to save everything. So it's still going to be just as wacky as ever, but instead of it being the normal characters that you used to, replace them with completely new characters that are all superpowered versions. And it looks kind of interesting. Apparently it's like good things from what I've heard from the producers, and not much has been said, I don't think. It's coming out later on in the month. Delayed release dates, which is going to be one big problem with piracy, because it comes out on the 15th in America, and it comes out, I think, on the 6th or the 18th for everywhere in Europe. So in those 3 days, it's going to be pirated to shit, and it's going to be sent out to Europe because people are not going to wait 3 days.
Yeah.
Which, delayed release dates in the modern world doesn't. Why do they have this? This shouldn't happen right now. It should have been.
There's no need to.
When it was discs, and it was much harder to do, and you actually have a problem of shipping stuff, you can understand that. If you've got to wait longer for stuff to ship there. But when it's a digital download, there is no reason to, and you're only making pirating easier. Because if it was a one-day release for everyone, if you set it at like 12 o'clock at this time, everybody gets it, well, it might not be 12 o'clock for you, but it's 12 o'clock at the place they set the release date. So, unfortunately, you weren't awake at that time, but that's when it's available. You can have your computer on downloading it for you. That's fine. But when they have the delayed release dates, it doesn't make sense.
No.
But yeah, that's all games I'm going to talk about. Those are the releases or stuff that has been released that is
So
good.
actually, important, yeah.
Yeah.
The only actual thing that's happening in cameras at all at the moment is Panasonic's announced full specs and pricing for their new. I don't know. I don't know if it's mid range or high. I don't know where the hell the play.
Low high end or high mid end.
It's really weird. So it's in the Panasonic's lineup. You have the GH5, which is the latest version of my GH4, at the top end of the Panasonic Lumix digital cameras. They're like not video cameras, they're like mirrorless cameras. You've got that at the top end there that's got, the full 4K, it's got like 10-bit professional end specs, but in a DSLR sized body. And up until this point, the next thing up was the Vericam LT, which is one of their big professional digital cinema cameras at about 15 grand. So there's this huge gap. So they basically had 2 grand and 15 grand.
Yeah.
So the EVA1, which is the new one that announced at the same time as Canon announced the C200 a couple of months ago, it sits right in the middle. If you include VAT, it's about 7.5 grand.
It sounds pretty much like what they're doing is they've heard a lot of feedback from people saying that
they need a mid-range, yeah.
If you want to do this semi-professionally,
yeah,
but you don't have the 15 grand to fork over,
you're
just stuck with going for the lower one. And what they've done is they've said, okay, we'll create
something in the middle,
a bridging one.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not a mid or a high end, it's a bridge between the two.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to go in between, this will work.
You want a professional and you want a professional video camera that isn't the shape of a DSLR, but you don't want to spend over 10 grand on it.
You don't have the funds for it just yet. It allows that bridging, and then you can go from there.
Yeah. So they're doing something interesting that they've done on the Vericam. It's got a dual native ISO, and basically the native ISO is the one that basically the company decides that it kind of performs the best at. On the GH4, it's 400 ISO. On that, it's 200. What Panasonic have pretty much specialised in is creating a dual native, so it can operate at 800, which is kind of the standard for video cameras, but it's also got a second native that you can set it to at 2500, so it means you can shoot in low light with a lot less noise. The Vericams get 800 and 5000, so they're actually surprisingly good in low light, but it's like obviously a bridging camera, so it's got this.
It's doing a bit of the night shooting before you go into the floors. You can shoot at night with no background noise whatsoever.
The sensor is 5.7K, which downsamples, when using internal recording, it downsamples to 4K. So it's for the same reason that I shoot 4K usually and then downsample it to 1080. It gives you much nicer looking 4K basically.
Yeah.
Weirdly uses an EF mount, a Canon EF mount, even though Panasonic have been like pioneering like the Micro Four Thirds stuff with smaller cameras, but with a future upgrade, it's gonna be able to do with the firmware upgrade 5.7K raw output via its SDI out, which is like red territory, doing over 5K raw.
It's what it's trying to do is it's making it so that you can do semi-professional stuff now, and you aren't stuck with it being a basic DSLR. You have the ability to now meet the industry standards if you are still amateur or semi-professional.
Yeah, which means, exactly. So it means that you don't have to have been working for 15 years to actually be able to compete with the big boys.
Exactly. You can now compete with them on a lower budget. You won't have everything that
not because you don't,
but it lets you.
It gets you much closer. Yeah.
It's getting you up to that point where you can now say you've got a better camera, you can get better equipment. It lets you progress your business instead of being stuck hoping for one big
thing to be able to get the bigger camera. It's basically all the other specs are like it looks basically almost like a GH5 with a bigger sensor in a bigger body almost, because it's got the same or similar 14 stops of dynamic range, 400 megabit per second recordings coming in that same update as the raw output. Dual SD card slots, 10-bit color. This is another reason why the video cameras are better and why they really needed to get into this market. Is a lot of these cameras that have built-in ND filters, which obviously you can't get in tiny little things like that, but you can get them just little hard ND filters, so you can actually shoot with wide apertures in the daylight. And as I say, excluding VAT, it's 6 to 15, and including its 7458, which really isn't that bad considering when you're going to get a free firmware upgrade to get the 5.7K raw output. That means you spend less than $8,000 on a camera that can do 5.7K raw.
Exactly.
And the only thing close that can do that is Red Scarlet W, in that for the brain costs $9,000. So to actually have a usable camera, to get a Scarlet W to usable is about 20,000.
Yeah.
So this is $12,500 cheaper.
And it lets you do almost as good.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like Panasonic are laughing at the moment. But yeah, that's everything on the list. Anything else anybody want to speak about?
I think springs to mind.
No. Right. Well, that's been another episode of the Iris Podcast. She'll see you guys next week. Adios.